Hello and welcome to A Pair of Dice Lost podcasting channel. My name is Brendan. My pronouns are he, him, and I'll be your storyteller for this game about living gods on the wrong side of the law. Joining me for this game is...
Hey there, guys. My name is Tyler. Pronouns are he, him. I'm going to be playing Riki, the fire-aspected street exorcist.
Hi, everybody. My name's Christina. I will be playing Elion. My pronouns are she, her, and Elion's pronouns are they, them. They are a water-aspected investigator.
Hi, everyone. My name's Cody. Pronouns are he, they, and I play Devine, the air-aspected shady businessman.
Hi, my name is Britt, and my pronouns are she and her. I play a wood aspect named Rush Fairus, who has a ferret familiar named Zeke. Together, they specialize in archery, larceny, and dance.
Hi, I'm Michaela, she, her, and I'll be playing Tirali of House Regara, an Earth-aspected leader of a small military force known as the Tyrants, who cooks the books for the gang.
And this is Exalted, like a dragon-blooded. Act 2, a calibration celebration. She looks to him and goes, "Yes, well, Reshbalar, Tyrant, if I might, that's all well and good, but wars require money. And when I last left our coffers, not a few days prior to coming down here, there was nothing in there." And everybody goes silent.
What do you mean there's nothing in there?
She turns to you. Emilar Devine, the divine bureaucrat of the Egoistara, property management, yada yada, all very good and whatnot. I was looking at the tyrant's coffers, the entirety of the family's coffers. There is not a single piece of script, not a single yen, and not a single dot of the realm's jade within our coffers in Great Forks. It has not been spent. We have been robbed. And there are very few people who have access to our coffers. Which means someone among us has betrayed the family, has betrayed the clan, and is very likely working with either the guild or the realm.
So, anybody want to fess up?
There's an incredible amount of whispering going on. If whispering could be made a sound that, raises louder, because there's a crap ton of it going on, that's basically what's happening. Everyone is freaking out at this. This is a revelation. And a few people are like, well, no, how would she know? How would she know? Yada, yada. It's kind of coming in and out, and people are absolutely flabbergasted by this revelation. And Resh Fular, the twin of the tyrant, smashes her hand against the table and stands up and just what do you mean? How can you be sure that they're empty? You just traveled from Great Forks to Chiaroscuro. We would have known by now. We can't possibly know this. When you left, they were full, correct? And she nods. Well, then you couldn't have made it back to Great Forks that quickly. On the contrary. And she kind of snaps and releases a charm, and a demon appears, a demon composed of brass and scales, with a jeweler's eyepiece where that its eyes should be, and it looks to her, and it looks to everyone else. Everyone, this is our personal accountant, bound in old contracts by the first tyrant. Please, accountant, tell them what our coffers are at. Keep in mind, this thing is unable to lie, bound by ancient oaths. Please, what is our current monetary situation? And the thing raises a scaled arm, and the balances go immediately onto what you all know, like, kind of like intrinsically as like the debt side, and like are just as far down as it could possibly go. We are at nothing. And people will require payment soon.
I have a question. So Mesha mentioned that assets were pulled out of Great Forks when I was speaking to them, correct?
Yes, I believe that he mentioned that guild assets were being pulled out of Great Forks.
And was it, because I have it written down as a bad omen from Sajan, is that why they specifically pulled it out of there?
That is the reason that he gave you.
I know it's a stretch to ask. Does it feel like there may be some correlation between lots of funds just suddenly getting pulled out of Great Forks, whether on purpose or, under the radar?
There could be some correlation, but you'd have to find some time to ask about that.
Okay.
Can I leave now, Master?
Brendan, can I roll on a cult roll to get a beat on this demon that's we're supposed to take the word of?
Yeah, absolutely. Intelligence and occult. Or actually, you know what? It's quick thinking because it's trying to leave. Wits and occult.
Medicine rolls part 2.
Wow.
But what about Tirali? Should she roll anything for either occult or anathema warning or anything?
If you wanna roll wits and occult as well, you can go ahead and do that.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna want to talk to my pocket and be like, "Ayo, Drogo, you know this guy?"
Drogo responds negatively.
Well,
as I recall, your contract with Drogo ended, actually, and you are going to be getting a better demon because you won that bet.
Oh, yeah. So the dice are, like, not talking at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're going to be getting a less scary demon and more of a helpful demon.
Hey. It's just going to be this one. I'm going to throw the dice and they act like Pokeballs for demons.
Honestly, if you're running a business, you might want to get an accountant demon.
I'm going to say that 2 successes does not do it.
But we all both collectively got 4 successes. No, just kidding. Okay.
Womp. Not how this works, unfortunately. So, it finally leaves after a little bit, and everyone is, well, pretty upset by the fact that they now have 0 money. Obviously, if you guys have resources as a background of your own, that's going to count as a separate source of income from the family. But yeah, pretty much anything that happened with the family that is not like being immediately brought in at the moment is basically at a net 0 currently because something happened.
Yeah, I was going to say Devine's actually kind of happy because he feels like he's probably the richest fucker in the room.
Elion's going to raise their hand just slightly.
Question, Christina, who do you want to call on you?
I'm looking at, Shakan was the one who summoned the demon, right?
Yes.
I'm looking straight at them.
Shakan, kind of gives out a loud yell that kind of like silences everyone for a moment, and then points to you. Yes. How can I? What question do you have?
So you recently checked to see what our coffers were. When was the last time they were checked before that? What is the time frame we are looking at on it all disappearing?
2 days before calibration.
That was when you found out that the coffers were empty?
I found out the coffers were empty this morning.
So 2 days before calibration, and this is in a time frame of all the valuables in the coffer going missing.
Yes. Are you looking to... She kind of like looks at you. You are a name, please. I can't be... I can't possibly remember everyone's name.
That's fine. It's Renal Elion.
You kind of see her kind of like do like this like thing in her head where she's kind of like going through like almost like a Rolodex in her head, and then she kind of like nods. The investigator. Excellent. I will speak with you after this meeting, give you a little bit more insight into things. For now, she looks around and looks up to Reshbalar. With your permission, Tyrant, no one leaves the city until we find the culprit. If you are found leaving the city for whatever reason, we will assume that you are the person who has stolen from us. And we will take what is owed to every single one of us. She looks to the Tyrant, and Reshbalar looks to all of you, kind of locks eyes with Fairus and has this kind of tired expression, and then nods. You all heard Shukan. No one leaves the city without my express permission. And she kind of like looks to him and goes, "That's not what I said," and he like silences her. If you need to leave the city for something, it goes through me. Not your matriarch, not your captain, not anyone else. It goes through me with my advisors present. And if you can't get all 6 of us into a room, I don't give a shit if you're going to get married that next day. He sighs, sits down, looks to y'all's matriarch and goes, "So sorry to have to do this. Everyone's dismissed. Find yourself some lodgings. Figure out something. There's an inn in the Undermarket that I'm sure that some of our other people who don't have headquarters here can use. Isn't that right, Devine?"
Oh yeah, even like if you need offices, we've got the underground tunnels too. Just let me know, I'll get you set up.
We appreciate it, Devine. Now,
Brendan, if I may.
Oh, of course, please.
Riki kind of clears his throat loudly and says to the entire room, "On this, the day of secrecy, I urge you that this is your one chance, if there is someone who's stolen from us in this room, that now is the time to save yourself the trouble of causing that sort of disruption on calibration. And secondly, if the person who stole from us is in this room, I'm going to punch you in the throat when I find out who you are. That's all. You guys have a nice night."
And Elian will find out who you are.
When Riki makes that threat, Elliot's gonna look around to kind of scan the crowd to see if anybody's twitching or if everybody's holding pretty strong with it.
I'm going to be honest. Everybody is kind of twitchy in the fact that they are all kind of like now very suspicious of each other.
Is there anybody who's looking too calm about all of this?
That would be a perception and investigation roll.
Excellent. Give me one moment to look through my investigation charms real quick. It's been a while. Okay. I am going to. Well, unfortunately, this is not technically the crime scene, so I can't use my specialization in that. So I am going to throw 4 motes into getting 2 automatic successes, and by using my excellency for it, which also lets me reroll any 6s as well.
Okay, go for it.
So since I'm doing visual, I assume I get my
Extra
sight.
2 dice. Yep.
So it's going to be 12 dice plus 2 automatic successes, and I can reroll 6s.
Okay.
So 8 successes.
With 8 successes, so like I said before, everyone here is twitching in some kind of way. They are looking to each other and kind of unsure of who to trust. There are a few people here who stand out in the fact that they are either hard to read, like Grimbreeze, who is just a cloak that's kind of moving around and has no expression for you to read. They are, because of that, they are kind of, I feel like in your brain, kind of turning into number 1 with a bullet.
I wouldn't say number 1 is just very odd.
They've got the most room to hide things.
The other people who seem off, that they're compared to everyone else, are Shukan, who's like the one who brought it up. So like, she's obviously going to be the most calm because she's known about it for a few hours. And Resh Balar is also calm. It's hard to tell with him. Your instincts say that him being calm is either, he might just be the one who did it because he's the one who would have the most access to it because he's the leader. But also, maybe he's trying to show a strong face in the face of adversity. The only other person who is not reacting that weirdly is Iselsi Bantis, but that might just be because she's old. But, who knows? Those are kind of the ones who here kind of stick out to you as potential, like, maybe that's the person, assuming that someone from the clan did it.
Okay.
Takes a little bit for people to calm down. Nobody comes forward on this day of secrets.
Throat punch is coming. You had your chance.
Eventually, people file out. Probably led by Devine down to the Ox Dragon Inn or some of the offices or over to the Desert Basilisk.
Definitely not taking them to the Cordial Crane. None of them have money to spend.
The only truth here on calibration, the only secret revealed to you all as a group, is that this fucking town just got a whole lot smaller and has a whole lot more bigger fish in it. The revelation that the entire crime family is, has had all of their money stolen from them, as far as anyone can tell, according to the accountant demon that was summoned. Nobody in the family is allowed to leave Chiaroscuro without the big boss's say-so. And, I mean, it's still calibration, so it's not like you guys were going to leave for at least another 2 days, but who knows how long that ruling's going to stay. Devine had offered, as I recall, to put some people up in the Cordial Crane, I believe. Since it did used to be the Ox Dragon Inn, since you literally have an inn.
Yeah.
Which is, just fine. Was there anything else that needed to happen on the Day of Secrets besides Elian being approached by Shukan, the economics advisor, who said that they were going to talk to them about something?
I think with the number of people that I'm giving complimentary rooms to, I should probably get to the inn and, play my day job, the game.
That is completely fair.
Even though I don't like half these motherfuckers, you still want to make a good impression on the family.
Are you housing the guy who threatened you? You should.
Oh,
Power
for
move.
sure. That's the most petty thing to do.
Do you remember who threatened you?
Oh, he's already got a place in the city.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to stay there.
He does not need to stay there. I was seeing if you.
But I'm going to insist he does.
Insist he does, and your housing is probably better than his. That'll do it. That'll get the blood boiling.
Yeah.
Remember who it is now?
Yeah. Gagiri Karsa.
Mm-hmm.
They got the place that we were like, nah, we don't want this bullshit.
Correct. You were threatened by Karsa, the leader of the assassin clan, and a dude who is at least as swole as Tirali.
Oh, he's got strangling hands.
Yeah, he does have them strangling hands.
Come here, buddy. Let me show you where I sleep.
Hey, power move. You gotta respect it.
As that you get everyone else who's not part of certain families that already have places in Chiaroscuro here towards the Ox Dragon Inn. Everybody else kind of goes about anything that they need to, and the Thunder Lizard advisor, Shukan, approaches Elian and takes them to the side. Elian, thank you for taking the time out of your day to see me. I needed to speak with you specifically.
Yes, I'm very interested to know as much details as you can give me.
Details are sparse as it is. The accountant demon that we had there is only made for keeping track of things. It's not exactly a foolproof security measure. I was hoping that we might be able to get your investigative mind on the case after calibration finishes.
As long as I am allowed to leave to do so, I do not mind.
We shall have to see how the Tyrant feels about leaving and allowing others to be on the case. From what your matriarch says, I believe that you and maybe another among the family might be the best to handle a case like this.
You're out. Who else would be going?
Yes, of course. I wanted to make sure that my intentions were clear and that you were informed of this before anything else happened during calibration.
That makes sense, and I appreciate it. I will obviously be in contact with you since no one is allowed to leave. I may ask you for more information, or if you can think of anything that may be relevant to the...
Of course, yes. I will have a report ready for you by the second day of 4 days hence. We should have more information after calibration has concluded. Do me one favor, though. Don't let others know that I've asked you about this. It would be a bad look if word got around that they couldn't trust their own accountant.
I'm not sure I can phrase this very delicately, but considering that I'm not saying they're going to blame you or anything like that, but considering that this has happened and everyone here knows it's happened, asking an investigator to help with the endeavor, I don't think would be frowned upon and seen in a poor light as you're trying to get it figured out.
It's not that I'm asking an investigator. It's that I'm asking an investigator from your clan.
Ah, that makes more sense.
It would be seen as weakness if my replacement learned that I asked for help from outside of the Kajak clan.
Understood. I will not speak to anyone regarding I am able. If the Tyrant were to ask me, though, that might not be something that I can conceal from him.
Understood. I won't ask you to lie for me. I'll just ask you to maybe wait for me to make a better excuse if you can make them move in circles for a little bit.
Trust me when I say I will not lie for anyone.
Good. Then I'm glad that I've made the correct choice in who to trust with this matter. And she gives a, curt nod and, puts her hands in, behind her and, heads on out. With that out of the way, the Day of Secrets is at an end. People are put up in the Oxdragon Inn. People are fed, clothed, whatever that they were planning on doing. But now, there's an air of, I don't want to say hostility, but anxiousness among the seedy underbelly of Chiaroscuro. But that's fine. The next day is the big party day of Serenities to really get all that pent-up tension out of the way as Venus Day dawns. Now, at least two of you have relationships. Devine particularly has Aaliyah the secretary, and Riki is in a relationship with Moya, the other secretary that is in this game, ironically.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a crime drama if you weren't banging the secretaries.
Do either of you have anything planned for them, or do you just kind of go and have a big raucous party?
I certainly have something planned, and you're going to love it and hate it.
With the guys having, at least one of the guys having an idea and a plan, and I know other people have plans or I have written stuff about them. The one person that I don't know who they're doing, what they're doing, or who they're doing.
No, you said it right. Who they're doing.
No, don't retreat. Own it.
The one person who I don't know who they're doing or what they're doing for Venus Day is Tirali. So, not to put you on the spot here, Tirali, but how would Tirali like to spend a day of Serenity? Is she more of a party monster when the time calls for it? Or is she more of the kind of person who likes to just enjoy a glass of wine with a close personal friend or something like that?
I feel like she wouldn't be a party monster. I feel like Tirali'd probably be low-key in her Serenity celebration.
That is completely fair. So, in that case, then, during the Serenity celebration, Tirali has actually been invited to the Shaved Yedem by essentially a cousin, by Regara Salon, the other Regara dragon-blooded in town, who does not live in the realm anymore. At this point, well, I guess, do you accept the invitation?
Yeah, I think she would.
Okay. So the gambling hall is more or less cleared out. The inn is getting much more use on the day of Serenities. If it wasn't very clear being a Venus Day thing, parties on Venus Day range from very cute one-on-one dates to hanging out with your bros to drug-fueled orgies, and it just depends on who you hang out with. Regara Salon has invited Tirali up to the offices of the Shaved Yedem gambling hall, where that she has poured 2 glasses of wine and is just kind of lounging there, and has set up a place for you to lounge and just kind of enjoy yourself. Obviously, introductions have been made between you two. I believe that we've actually had some scenes with you two together, but if not, then introductions have definitely been made. You've been living in town for a couple months at this point. So she takes a moment and takes a sip of her wine and looks to you and goes, "Oh, Tirali, what are we gonna do with these kids here?" And she's just kind of like motioning towards kind of the general area of where that the inn is, with all the bullshit that happened the other day.
I didn't really have any plans other than trying to just tune everything out. Did you have something in mind?
Well, I was hoping to fleece a couple of them for some money and maybe send it back home at some point, but it seems that everybody's poor. So
That's how it sounds, unfortunately.
how have your studies been concerning the anathema?
As of late, we haven't uncovered too much. Priorities have been a little shifted, but it's still something in the background that is a focus.
You know, I had a patrician brother a couple decades back. By the way, since you're from the realm, you would know this. Patrician is the term for someone from a dragon-blooded house who did not exalt. So it's like saying that, like, oh yeah, I had a little brother, but he didn't exalt, so like he's not so little or young anymore.
All right.
But she just kind of goes on and goes, I had a patrician brother a couple decades back who was in very much the same, had a lot of the same interests that you do concerning the anathema. He believed that if you talk to them at the right time, you could convince them to do work for you, and it would be greater than anything that we could manage. How do you feel about that?
Seems a little ambitious. Was there any substantiation to that? Did he ever try?
As far as I know, he tried. He went off with the Tepet Legions as a historian a few years back. Haven't heard from him since. Maybe he found an anathema up north. If you were to find one, what do you think that you'd do?
That's a good question. I always kind of focused my attention on their studies for the family. I never really thought of what I would do if they could benefit me.
If I were to find you if I were to say that I had possession of certain banned texts that the Immaculates definitely don't want you reading concerning the nature of anathema. Would you be interested in it?
Oh, well, surely I would not be interested in those. And then you see her shaking her head, know that that is not what she's actually implying. And like a wink, like, yes, please give them to me. But out loud, I'm saying, no, I would never accept that. But she totally would accept those.
Even here in the threshold, you're still loyal to your family. It's nice to see another Regara like that. And like there's a very clear like wink, like you guys are having a like if anyone was at the door who was like an immaculate monk, they'd be like, aha, yes. Of course these Regara ladies are not going to give us out to the anathemas or whatever. And like inside, because you guys are actually like kind of talking like around each other and like in circles, like you guys are like, oh, you totally have those books. Okay, cool. We'll talk about this.
I would never read those books.
Wink. Tirali, you
Yep.
were supposed to say wink. So
Dust suddenly flies in her left eye.
Are there any questions or anything else that you would like to do during Serenity's Day besides just hanging out, having a glass of wine, and discussing the nature of anathema and how to help out the family in the long run?
Yeah, that sounds like a good way to spend the day for me. Definitely not 100% at all talking about that and learning some things and maybe getting a hold of those texts.
The text we would never read.
Exactly. If I ended up with them, it's to make sure they don't end up in the wrong hands.
Keep them away from vicious prying eyes.
Exactly.
Okay, then. So sometime after calibration is over, just remind me that you'll be given a small delivery of occult texts that are you're not supposed to have.
Fair enough.
Okay. So, as that little deal is done, the camera swings a little bit more towards Fairus. When you woke up that day, you were greeted to the sound of heavy banging on your door. And the sound of your older brother just kind of going, Fairus, wake up. I need you to handle this.
From inside her room, or I guess that's where she's sleeping, from inside her room or wherever she's at, she kind of shouts back to him, handle what? As she like comes to the door and opens it abruptly. Her hair is definitely not, like, she is not prepared for the day.
Unprepared for the day, and certainly unprepared for a small army of bouquets of flowers. Fairus is not prepared.
Did you just say a small army of bouquets of flowers?
Yes, a small army of bouquets of flowers.
Not only is Fairus not prepared, but I, Britt, am not prepared.
Your brother looks annoyed and looks down at the flowers and goes, there are at least, and I cannot stress this enough, 15 suitors that have been by in the last hour asking for you.
She just kind of like stares at him with like really wide and like wide eyes and kind of like that gif as she's staring at this army of bouquet of flowers.
She's got the shocked Pikachu face.
Yes, the shocked Pikachu face. Perfect. You said 15 suitors in the past hour?
Yes, 15 have come knocking specifically for you. And I will mention, it's beginning to piss your sister off.
I mean, I didn't ask for this, so
You can see Bilar's twin is off in the corner, kind of huffing that she has a pittance of 10 bouquets around her in the last hour and has not been able to do better than you. Granted, if I recall, I believe that you do have the higher appearance rating, and also you're not new to town, so people actually know you here.
What's her appearance?
I think that she's like a 3.
Yeah, I'm a 4. That tracks.
Yeah, okay. She looks more like her brother.
You know, I would say that not dip because they're twins, but twins don't have to actually look alike.
Right, exactly. Can you give me very quickly a roll of perception and awareness?
4 successes.
All right. With 4 successes, you are able to distinguish among this small array of bouquets and things that suitors have left that there is a small invitation there among them that piques your interest. It is written in a fairly competent calligraphy hand that works really well. It's got kind of like a nice flowing style to your native tongue. And if you open it up, it asks you to it asks you from a secret admirer to meet them at the Desert Basilisk for lunch.
The Desert Basilisk, is that where Manami works?
That is, in fact, Manami's place.
Where Manami works. What the fuck?
Is that Manami's handwriting? Have I seen Manami's handwriting?
I don't believe that you have ever seen Manami's handwriting.
Well, I'm not going to go alone, but I'll read the note out loud and just kind of ponder it for a moment. Is that the only one with a note?
That is, in fact, the only one with a note.
So if that's the only one with the note, and none of the others have a note, obviously they don't care if I find them because I can't find them if there's no note.
So, do you want to, for lunch, go to the Desert Basilisk? Or are you going to stand your secret admirer up?
I would probably go have lunch at the Desert Basilisk, but I would definitely like to find someone to like keep an eye on me. Whether they're there with me or outside or something is up to them.
Okay, well, who do you think would have your back in that case on Serenity's day and is not busy with a significant other or going to a drug-fueled orgy?
Cocaine orgy party.
I don't actually know, because if everyone's doing shit, you know what? I can defend myself. I'll just go by myself.
I mean, you know Manami's probably going to be there.
Yeah, and if shit hits the fan, Zeke can go find help.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not like you know an entire army that would help you out.
Or a literal manifestation of a god who owns the restaurant.
Yeah, also, like, the Tyrants are kind of, like, just becoming, like, a part of the town and are, like, going around, like, doing...
I guess I will be like, I'll look at my brother. Like, I guess I gotta go get ready. And then I'll close the door, leaving all the flowers out there except for the note. Leaving them all with him. And then I'll go get ready for the day.
Okay. I will give you a moment to think about how that Fairus is going to look for her date with her secret admirer. Or, I guess, her meeting with her secret admirer, not a date. Riki.
Hey, buddy.
What bullshit are you going to get up to on Venus Day?
I have a question, first of all. Is there a particularly scenic hill or valley or riverside or something natural around Chiaroscuro that is particularly picturesque and nice?
So the nicest parts would either be one of the beaches, like one of the smaller harbors, or if you wanted to go outside, like where the city kind of turns into like plains and like grasslands, that would be some of the nicer parts. There are a few larger hills, almost mountains, where that if you were to climb to the top of them would give a great scenic view.
What I would like to do is have previously talked to my buddy Minami to make me some nice food, and I would like to go steal Moya from her job and go have a picnic on the valleys outside of Chiaroscuro, even though they told me I can't leave the city. On my gigantic 10-foot tall flaming horse.
Okay.
And if anyone gives me shit about it, I am a practicing priest and have to honor the gods on what's this thing called? Calibration. And by denying me my right to take my partner on a nice romantic picnic, they're denying me my right to worship. So they can't stop me.
Okay. Getting Moya is not an issue. You go up to the shaved Yedem where that she is, and she just kind of like, oh, okay.
I just hold up traffic with my gigantic horse until she notices and comes down.
She comes down. At some point, you saw Tirali go in and go spend the day up there with Salon, but Moya comes down and hops on the horse with you, and just kind of goes, "All right, where to, Riki?"
And without responding, I just kind of not kick Lucille, but kind of pull the reins and just gallop off at Mach 10 wordlessly.
Okay, at Mach 10 specifically.
It's as fast as I can without harming Moya, of course.
The horse moves as fast as it can. Question for you. Do you have any ranks in ride?
I do.
Okay. I would like you to give me a dexterity and ride roll.
Sure.
This is basically to determine if you and by extension Lucille are quick enough to get out of the city without drawing attention.
5.
With 5 successes, the only people who would get their attention drawn to the giant flaming horse with the priest on the back and his significant other going outside the city during calibration would be people who are specifically looking for you to go and do something dumb.
So everyone.
Who's looking for me to do something dumb on Venus Day?
I was just going to leave it up in the air, but do you have someone in mind who'd be looking for you to do something dumb?
I don't know. Do you have someone in mind who'd be looking for me to do something dumb?
No, actually I didn't. I was just keeping it intentionally vague to see if maybe you would incriminate yourself.
No, not today, fucko.
Yeah, no, with 5 successes, you easily evade any of the few lookouts who are actually doing their job during Venus Day to stop you from leaving Chiaroscuro.
I'm not necessarily hiding either. I'm just kind of going real fast so they can't stop me.
The other thing is that leaving Chiaroscuro is, as long as you guys come back, it's not that big of a deal. It's more like if you leave and then decide, fuck this, we're going to the lap, which is a couple days right away.
Having a nice valley picnic and then coming back. I just wanted to do a nice thing.
Doing that is not that big of a deal to them. It's if that you were like, nah, screw it, we're going to the west. We're going to become pirates now.
No. Yeah,
that's when that would be
I do have a question though to cover my bases. I would like to, while I'm out, swing by a local village or something to find some nice fresh produce or fruit to give to Rush Balara to apologize if he gives me shit about it. Cover my bases.
Okay, yeah. You can do that.
Because I am defiant and irreverent, but I'm not disrespectful unless there's warrant to be. And he's the only one whose respect I care about. Fuck everybody else. They could have stolen from me.
Yeah, you find at some point along your way, you do find like a small town that has like like an apple orchard, and get some apples.
Yeah, a nice bushel of apples for the boy. But other than that, yeah, I don't have anything particularly planned for that. I just wanted to have a nice picnic on Venus Day, and that was all I had in mind. But I wanted to leave the city to do it.
Okay, you leave the city to do it. You hang out with Moya, and as that you are both hanging out, you can feel the light, cool breeze of the north coming in, as the air currents and everything of creation are a little bit weird during calibration. It gives this this pleasant feeling that is not normally found this close to the south. If you had something that you wanted to tell her, or like basically you guys have like a nice picnic and
that's all I wanted. There's no role play I wanted to accomplish. I just wanted to have like a nice day.
You, as a monk and an occult practitioner, have this feeling as the cool breeze washes over you that is not the breeze from the north so much as an unseen air elemental kind of giving you both a nice respite during the heat of the day.
Oh, and I did have one question for you that I meant to ask the other day. At some point during calibration, I do need to check in with the Broken Maiden to see if she needs anything, because you have to respect and honor the god's wishes also.
The best day for that with her would actually be tomorrow, which is the day of endings, considering that she is a goddess who ends things.
Cool, I'll get back to you.
Devine, is there anything that you would be doing during Venus Day?
Yeah, the exact opposite of what Riki just did. I want to get Aaliyah and get her a break from, the day-to-day of being Samir's secretary. And, use my know-how of the working with the upper echelons combined with street knowledge to break us into what I assume is going to be the orgy held by the Tricon.
You will now witness the power of street knowledge.
Like, take her on a safe crime spree of like, all right, here we're gonna go buy some illegal drugs. We're gonna rob this guy for his tickets, pickpocket those two. The exciting bits. Crime tourism.
Absolutely fantastic. Considering that this is Venus Day and everybody is also probably drunk as well, I'm not gonna have you roll for any of that, because I think that's a good like fade to black for the end of your scene that I actually had planned.
Nope.
So before you get to Aaliyah's to pick her up and everything, you are actually confronted by your buddy June, who you broke out of who you helped break out of jail.
Yeah. My boy.
Devine. So nice to see you on this this auspicious Venus Day. You gonna go make a little dragons?
I'm not sure if I'm gonna make some dragons, but that's not gonna stop me from trying, and that's the important part on Venus Day, is that you try.
You're right. You're right. So I just wanted to let you know I'm only doing this right here because I got paid to. He hands you a wax sealed envelope. Do you take it? Or do you look at it? What do you want to do?
First I want to do see is how far under the influence June might be. Like, is he fucked up and like, oh yeah, somebody got a hold of him and was like, here's $50, give this to your boy? Or does he seem like he hasn't started his party yet?
Looks like he has not started his party yet.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to... The wax seal, does it have any signage on it? Like any heraldry?
Yes, it does.
Dope. What's that look like?
It looks like a fan from Look Shy.
Oh, fuck.
Thank you for taking the time to enjoy our show. If you liked what you heard, why not leave a review or tell a friend about us? It helps get the good word out about the work we put into this show. If you wanted to ask us any questions, you can contact us through Twitter at apairofdicelost or email at apairofdicelost@gmail.com. The theme song for this game is Dragon Dance by Raphael Crux, used under a Creative Commons license. And for making it this far, I saw that cool thing you did, so have some stunt dice. Oh god, this is quickly becoming my favorite NPC.
Because you get to cackle.
Yeah, because I get to cackle like that.
So you've just had a deep yearning to be like a swamp hag at some point?
At some point, one of my previous lives was a bog witch.
Is that our wish for everybody to just, be a swamp witch at some point in their life?
I mean, yeah.
Do you remember who threatened you?
He's gonna look at the notes and find out.
That is exactly what I'm going to do. Do you have it in the notes?
I'm literally looking at it right now.
I would be very surprised if it's not in the notes.
Big Chungus.
Big Chungus.
I can call him that, right? He won't get mad at me.
He will absolutely get mad at you if you call him Big Chungus.
Noted.
Elian, trying to remember what voice I did for her. I'll fix it later.
You can always just re-record it.
Yeah, I can always just re-record it. It's fine. I'm gonna love it and hate it, but first off, I want to focus in just a little bit on Fairus.
Give me 2 seconds, guys. I dropped my food on myself.
Oh, she was so shocked.
Good jab.
So be right back.
Well then, I guess that we won't be focusing on Fairus for just a moment. I'll edit this properly. So,
hanging out with your bros, 10 feet apart because you're not gay.
Exactly.
And it's the one day when it's not gay to kiss the homies goodnight.
I mean, in creation, it's never gay to kiss the homies goodnight. They have a very, open policy about that kind of stuff. It's I think there's actual pages on it in the Dragon-Blooded book.
Fair.
Exalted is surprisingly,
progressive?
Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
Who should be back by now with new pants.
Yes, I am back with new pants.
Okay, fantastic. So, helpful things. At some point, Michaela, I'm going to get that side story where the Tyrants play baseball against the guild.
If you build the baseball diamond, they will come.
They will come.